Guys, it is Serenity and I'm back doing another live stream, and today is Friday. Today is something I don't know why I'm doing this today, but as you can tell, I'm off by the moon phase quite a little bit. But I'm talking about today road opening, and I guess it's not actually the right time at the moment to do it, because I think the moon is still now just going into its waning phase. Let me just make sure. Moon phase, and as of today, so today I want to talk about road opening spells. What is today's moon phase? Okay, let's get to this right now. March 1st, March 2nd. It's still full. Okay, it's still full. That's good. March 3rd, waning. All right. So it's still a full moon, and that's why today I want to talk about road opening spells. I want to talk about what is a road opener. I want to talk about why, you should be doing it, or you should do it, and the results. What is the expected results of it? Now, road opening spells definitely are spells for success. It is for when you're feeling stuck. It is for when you're feeling like things are stagnant, are not moving, and you want things to move forward. You want to manifest some things. You want to see some things start to change for the better. And you are not liking the situations that are going on around you at the moment. So road opening spells or rituals can be done to just basically, let's just give a few examples for removal of obstacles, obviously, to open a clear path to move towards what you want better. So that can be for finding a job, that can be for, changing residence, that can be for moving into a new career, that could be just sometimes to get rid of limiting thoughts and self-doubt and lack of self-esteem and confidence. It definitely is good for that. It is good for money blockages. Removing obstacles, like I said, can be so many different forms of obstacles that we face on a day-to-day basis. So for some people, they're trying to have a child. They're having a difficult time with that. Road openers can work for that. A road opener can definitely work for that. Gambling. Some people have it tough and they don't win. They play a lot and they don't see any returns. Road openers work for that. Road opening can be for people who are trying to get moving to start a new business, things like that, to see their way through, to kind of open a path, clear a path for them to move towards success and prosperity. So there are many different ways that road openers can work for you, and today I just wanted to get into that topic because of the moon's phase. It's 100% full today. It will be waning at 97% tomorrow. So today is the day. If you've thought about doing a road opening spell, this is the time to do it, unless you want to wait until the next full moon. And the funny thing about the full moon this time was that February did not have a full moon. The full moon was March 1st, March 2nd, because February had full moon in the earlier part of the month. January, towards the end of January. So it's like we had 2 full moons in January. And so February, as I'm looking at my calendar, right, there's 5 weeks in January. And so February, we're seeing the full moon the 1st of March. Strange, isn't it? So, like I said, all of those things are circumstances and situations that a road opener spell or ritual can work for if you are a practitioner of magic. Now, a lot of the times, road openers, people look at it and think that these herbs and all of these things are necessary to open a road for you guys to move forward, to succeed in whatever it is that you wish to succeed in, to move forward with your desires. However, when I just talked about something in a video. I just mentioned running, I just mentioned fitness and stuff like that. And for me, running was a wonderful road opener for me, and it literally was an open road because I did not own a treadmill. I still don't own a treadmill. I go out in the open in nature and run. I go sometimes there's a field, a fort and a field close by where I live. I utilize that sometimes. There's a long like fish fry type of stretch of beach with vendors, with like booths and stalls and all of that, and that's really close to where I just mentioned the field and the fort. I use that. I use the public roads. I just go wherever it takes me, and I like to switch up my routes. So I feel like that was my beginning form of road opening. Getting out there, getting into nature, actually stretching your legs and seeing the world around you. That is the best road opener that you can do for yourself. Okay, you get to meet others who are like you, who are in the same kind of interest, who are passionate about the same things as yourself. So give that a try as well. And this is talking about magic today, but I'm going to include that in that, because to see your dreams and goals manifest, you have to take action as well. It starts, of course, all in our minds, but in the physical, you have to begin taking action. And gosh, my hair looks rough. I just finished working out myself, and I washed it a little and didn't even like moisturize. I just started recording. So anyways, back to the topic of road opening. A lot of the things that we see, there are so many different types of road opening spells and rituals, but today I'm going to talk about one in particular, or two actually, and I'm in the process of trying this myself, but I believe I may have made a little error. As the saying goes, there's no perfection to magic. Each person has their own personal way of doing things, but in this aspect I'm looking at, this is my road opener oil and it's got a lot of stuff in there, a lot of stuff, but this was taking me forever and ever to collect, to conjure up all of these items and stuff like that. And so I began it, I started something, and now I feel like I need to add another process to it to complete it. I believed it was complete, but I think now that I slept on it and thought about it, I'm going to do another aspect, a third step to that. But that part is kind of personal, so I'm just going to leave that there. But just to show you guys what it looked like, that's what it looks like. And it's got, among those items I'm going to call off now, of herbs and other materials that we have in here. All right. Sage is definitely one. We are going to first cleanse the bottle. You find yourself a mason jar, a glass jar. I would prefer glass. I don't like to use plastic when it comes to these kinds of stuff. A glass jar could be medium sized, doesn't have to be very large. And you want to clean it really good. Clean it properly. Cleanse it out with a sage stick. Use the sage smudge and smoke it out with the incense of the white sage. And like I said, some people use salt, some people use sage. I use both to cleanse, because you want to make sure the essence is very clean. Okay, just as before you're going to clean your body, the materials that you're going to use for this actual spell is there to be cleaned as well. Okay, cleaned as well as cleansed spiritually. All right, so like I said, smudge it out. All right, some people actually start to add the items just after that, and you can use mint inside of there. Remember now, everything that you're going to add into this, you are charging with your intent. You are actually like putting your personal essence into this. You are actually feeling this and becoming one with this. So each item that before you add to this, you're going to meditate on it for a little bit. It depends on how you feel, however long you feel that's going to take for you, but when is enough. Okay, so you want to put now. Let me just move this book out of the way so I don't have any like toppling over avalanche effect going on here. And I want to go to my channel to make sure that I can see, what's happening. If I've got comments, anything like that, feel free to ask while we're doing this. I'll answer afterward, after we've gotten further ahead. Okay, and go to my channel. All right. So some of the items that people usually add to the road opener are oh, that's loud. Let's go down here. Mugwort. That's a very common one that is added. People use, there's an herb, a plant that's called Euphorium villosum, and that's more used in the Santeria practice. But in Santeria, people use the leaves of this plant more than the other actual Palo Monte, where they use the branches and the stems. But the leaves are definitely usable. So, like I said, mint, sage you want to use as well. It's very important to follow these items to the T. You don't have to use all of them, but you know, whatever you can find according to your location. So the next item up here is orange peel, orange zest. That's important. As you know now, road opener is something that is for success. It's for like shining a light and moving towards prosperity, okay, and abundance. So anything that has the essence, the association to the sun, is going to be very important to add to this jar. Okay, so like I said, things like lemongrass you can use. Cinnamon is a biggie, because cinnamon, like you know, in magic, cinnamon is utilized a lot. Cinnamon is for that drawing effect. Cinnamon is definitely something that's invigorating, that is likened to the sun. Cinnamon is also one of Archangel Michael's herbs. It's very good. Okay, pine needles as well as pine cones. When you think about pine, what comes to mind? Okay, it's got open fields. If you're like where I live, we have a lot of pine fields like around the vicinity. Okay, so this represents to me, in my mind, open fields, like things that are moving, just are never ending, moving forward. Okay, so the pine and pine needles, pine cones, sorry. People use ginger as well. Ginger is another thing that is typical to add to road openers. Camphor is another ingredient to add. Lemongrass. Think about these items now. These are things that love the sun, that thrive in the sunlight, and the sunlight is the association to a road opener. All right. I said white sage, citronella oil, just like I mentioned with the orange peel, citronella, citrus, loving the sun, all of that moving towards success. Now for the more personal things, you have eyebright. Eyebright is the herb that helps us with our psychic abilities. It helps us with our clairvoyance, with our ability to see things forward, you know, that as they are happening, to be able to grasp opportunities and like have that third eye empowerment. Okay, sulfur is used for the negativity. Sulfur is used to cleanse or remove obstacles or blockages. So that's where you want to add sulfur to that. The salt also is a cleanser. All right, you can use black salt, but typically any salt does the same thing. Epsom salt, I use Epsom salt, and sea salt as well. Dragon's blood. Some of these items may not be as easy for you to find, but if you have like local shops that have like, sometimes we have little Hispanic stores. Where I live, we have Haitian stores. They sell a lot of like, you have to go in the deep in the ghetto for those stuff. Or ask. It's not a big broadcasted place. It's a little mom and pop shop that sells little grocery and things like that, but they may have a side room or something with these items, that help for your ritualistic purposes. Okay, so the dragon's blood is for protection, it's for cleansing, it's for love, it's for attracting money and abundance. So that's definitely an additive, something to add in there. Okay, now some people also use snake skins in road openers. Think about that, the association, the skin of a snake. Snakes, what do snakes do? Snakes move through roads. Snakes make their way forward wherever they're going. Okay? So the snake skin, just mentally think about what it represents. And like I said, each of these ingredients that you're adding, you're actually meditating on them, you're actually getting a close connection to them, and you're feeling their intent, your intent be put into them. Okay? You're like enchanting it basically. Now, the more personal items I'm finally going to get to are crossroad dirt. Crossroad dirt is very important because think about that as well. Just get the visual picture of a crossroads. These are roads being opened. These are roads that lead to other roads that just keep on leading forward, okay? And where I live, there are a multitude of crossroads. So it seems pretty weird sometimes, but you don't want to be very obvious. But you can just collect a handful of crossroad dirt or a little jar full or a little spoonful, put it in a baggie, and be on your merry way. It's about the intention, it's about the focus, all right? And this is what I love about magic, because each and every step you take is a personal step. Each and every thing you need to collect or to find, you have to put all of your energy into it. Like the other day I went looking for marigolds. This was going to be a part of the road opener as well, because marigolds love the sun. Marigolds thrive in harsh sunlight. Okay, and I could not find any. And I know that when I go running and stuff like that, I see marigolds all over the place. But why is it now that I need it, I'm not seeing any? And so I found this one yard. And I'm like, for days, I'm like stalking this person's yard. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get those. How are we gonna get those? And believe it or not, one day as I stopped thinking about it and I said, something, I have a package of marigold seeds at home. I'm just gonna go plant my seeds and grow my own, okay? I'm gonna go around being a plant napper, a flower napper out of people's yard. And as my mind went off of it, and as I passed the house and was coming back, the guy who lived there was finally there, and I saw him walk straight up the walkway and go to the door, and I'm like, now's my chance. And sure enough, he gave them to me. He was like, yeah, sure, these are the wifeys, but you could have some. Like, what okay. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, from the bottom of my heart. So your intention is very important, and I'm guaranteed that act, I didn't go and take the guy's plants, I asked. And that was the best part. When I sat down at home and thought about it, I put the flowers out to dry and stuff like that. And as I went back to check it one day, I'm like, something, that was great. You didn't just go and nap the flowers out of the man's yard, you asked. Because sometimes when I'm passing, sometimes I see abandoned places. I see roses hanging over the fence and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, yoink, this is mine. I'm taking this. Okay. Next up, let me just stay focused, all right? Next up, so you can put marigolds in there too. Marigolds. Like I said, the crossroad dirt, a small little bit. You don't need a lot. Hair. Your own hair. This is very important as well, because this is what gets your real life essence, your real DNA into this mixture, into this whole concoction, all right? So hair from your head You know, pull a little piece, a little strand or whatever. I like to pull from the middle so it's not obvious. I don't have any balding spots around the edges. A little bit, it goes a long way. You can use a fingernail clipping. You could use anything of your body that represents you, that has your life energy in it. All right. So you let that run and figure out what that could mean. That could mean sweat. That could mean blood. That could mean saliva, tears. You don't want tears in a road opener. You know what I mean? So think about anything that is of yourself that you want to just toss in there. Okay. What else do I have on this list? There are a few other things. Oh, and this is the next important part. A key. A key. This is the last of the ingredients, I do believe. Some people say key dust. You can use key dust if you have access to key dust. That is the dust or the shavings off of a key. It's been cut. But people recommend, other witches and magicians and practitioners recommend using a key that has been used already to open a lock, that has been used to unlock something by your own hands. I would assume, not somebody else's keys. You know, I would want something that I opened the door with, that I let myself in with. Okay. And I can't see it anymore where my key is in here. I can't find it, but it's in there. All right. The next step, remembering now, I should have said this much earlier, but like I did, didn't I? The waxing moon phase. Yeah, that's important. All right. And now what you want to do is, oh, I think that's all the ingredients I have listed here. That's all you need. All right. And at this step now, you can light a candle. I would recommend using a gold candle or a white candle. You light a candle. This door is very heavy. You actually want to, I went way ahead of myself. Cleanse your candle. Like I said, everything that you're going to use should be cleansed already. But at this point now, if you haven't done so, you want to clean that candle. So you can use Florida water. Some people use sage to just smudge the candle. Of course, the candle has, I would prefer it to be a new candle. Like I said, gold or white. White is neutral. White can be substituted for any color candle. So cleanse the candle really well. Then you want to begin dressing the candle with some of this oil, some of this wonderful oil. All right. Now it depends on how you feel, but I would recommend letting this sit and just hang out and let all the ingredients while you actually get your focus. This could be days. It could be a day. It could be 3 days. You're getting your intentions more powerful. You're actually focusing on the things that you want to see happen more. How you want these roads to be opened for you. Okay, this is where the patience of magic comes into play. Magic is not something that you just, slap together like some items on a table and mush them all up and then light a candle and walk off and leave it alone. It's a very thought out process. It's a very mindful process. All right, so you have to actually be engaged. You have to be involved, and this is why you want to do these sorts of rituals when you're feeling your highest, when you're feeling energized, when you're feeling optimistic, when you're feeling enthused and passionate about life. This is when your energy is going to be the highest. Okay, so move towards that. What am I watching? Am I talking to myself? Because I'm looking at something and I'm seeing another title and I'm not sure if this is my page. This is my page, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Psyching myself out. So now, like I said, you light the candle. On top of the jar, you just pour a little bit of wax on there to stick it. And you would stick that candle right on top there. Now, here is where you get into a little meditative state. where you actually start to think and visualize, breathing deeply, getting more relaxed, comfortable with the process, making sure that you're not interrupted, you're in a silent, undisturbed place. You're thinking about all of the things that you want to be cleared away. All right, that's very important. Mind power, all right, is everything. So make sure you have the time, set aside the time to do this when you have the most undisturbed time, okay? Make sure you eat a little something. You don't want to feel like you're about to pass out before doing this. So now that your candle's lit, on top of there is when you sit down. If you're like me, like you like to use crystals and stuff like that, you can use crystals. Make sure they're cleansed and charged. Citrine is a good one that you can use for this. Like I said, anything that's representative of the sun, of seeing the road ahead, you can use. So citrine is definitely the first one that comes to my mind. You have yellow aventurine. That is a beautiful one to use as well. These are success stones, okay? Green aventurine as well. Yellow and green aventurine I love the most, okay? But citrine is definitely on top of that list. Citrine does wonders for success, for drawing and attracting success and abundance, happiness, health, love, light. That's what citrine does. All right. Then there are some things that you can say along with your meditation after you've seen this big picture of something coming to pass, of the what you want to see your life becoming, how you want to see yourself transitioning into these new phases of life, elevating. There are some things that you can say. So for a lot of us, a lot of people who practice hoodoo, the Psalms are very important. The Psalms bring that power, just like the ingredient. What is that ingredient? The saltpeter. Just like saltpeter brings that power to a spell. It kind of like it explodes it with energy. The Psalms do the same thing. Okay, so Psalms, the 23rd Psalms, definitely Psalm is very important. It's one of those Psalms that you can say. This is all up to you, if you are familiar or comfortable with the Bible, with Christianity. Psalms definitely are road openers. There are quite a few of them that work for this purpose. So the 23rd Psalm is definitely one of them. And it says, 23:3, He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in paths of righteousness. He leadeth me in paths of righteousness. Righteousness here, now thinking about it, is not necessarily, being a saint, becoming a saint. Righteousness, becoming a devout Christian, or, righteousness just means paths of right thinking, paths of right doing, paths of right actions, righteousness, okay, right thoughts, right words, right acts, okay. Psalm 16 verse 11, Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures evermore. That's Psalm 16 verse 11. Psalms 25:4, Show me thy ways, O Lord. Teach me thy paths. Psalms 25:10 says, All the paths of the Lord are mercy and truth unto such as keep his covenant and his testimonies. Psalms 119 verse 35 says, Make me to go in the paths of thy commandments, for therein do I delight. And Psalms 119 and 105, Thy word is a lamp unto my feet. This is my favorite, beside the 23rd. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. So there's also other things that you can say. There's an African hoodoo prayer that I've discovered. There's also a road opening prayer. And I'm going to say this road opening prayer just for you to hear it. It says, I invoke the sublime influence of the Eternal Father to obtain success in all subjects of my life, and to smooth all difficulties that are in my way. I invoke the aid of the Holy Spirit so that my house prospers and my company and my person receive a message of good luck sent by the divine providence. O great hidden power, I implore your supreme majesty so that you separate me from danger. At the precise moment that my way is always illuminated by the light of fortune, I shall receive the infinite blessing of the sky. I believe in God all-powerful. Amen. Then, whatever prayer that you wish to say, however your heart is feeling, whatever you're thinking, okay, that is going to help you feel more empowered, it's going to help you move toward success, say that. Let the candle burn. At this point, you're letting the candle burn, continue to burn. So you want to put it in a safe place. You want to have it lit in a safe place. You can have incense lit. I would recommend sandalwood. Sandalwood is also another ingredient that you could have added, or that you can add to this jar. All right. And let the candle burn out completely. You can leave it, or you can stay and sit with it. It's your choice. After that, you want to properly dispose of these items now. You keep the jar, you keep the oil, okay? Now, the candle though, the incense, the ashes from the incense, the remaining wax that's dripped down from there, you want to collect those all together and put them in a bag. Tie them up in a little cloth. I would suggest silk, a white cloth, a white piece of silk cloth, whatever color, whatever you can find, but you still want it to represent all of these other things that you have added to this jar, to this ritual. So gold or white are my recommendations, even silver. Small piece, tie up the remains of your candle and the ashes in this cloth. Tie it up gently, tie it with a black string, and the next step you want to do is dispose of them, that cloth, at a cross corner. All right? After you dispose of it, where two corners meet, you toss it and you keep it moving. You don't look back at it. You're like, oh, like, where did that drop? Like, oh, whoops. No. Toss it and get going without looking back. The final part of this ritual is about actually doing the things now necessary to see some change taking effect. You can't just sit down or lie down on your backside and expect all these doors now to be open for you, like, down the road, up the road, through the corner. Of course, you're going to start to see little subtle changes, but it's about now releasing it. You've released it to the infinite, and for the divine to actually follow through. But you now need to follow through with actions. You need to actually get up and make a decision, a bold choice to say, now, today I'm going to go after this. Today I'm going to call up one or two places. I'm going to see what's available. Today I am going to get up and I'm going to exercise. Today I'm going to eat better and see if I feel any better. Today I am going to start making a business plan. I'm going to start writing out what I want to do moving forward. Taking a step. That's where the magic really is. Taking the steps, okay? Believing in yourself. If you don't believe in you, nobody else will, all right? And that's what road opening is all about. People believing in you. People actually trusting you now to say, okay, I have faith in this person. She can do it. You have to believe in yourself first, and that's what draws all of that wonderful essence, that natural mystic, okay? that magic, basically. And last but not least, remember, the magic lies within you. The magic doesn't lie in this jar. These are just symbolic representations, okay, of what you want to see happening. The true magic is in your mind, all right? The true magic is in your heart, knowing, understanding who you are and what you want for your life. This is where the magic lies, and taking action moving forward. So, guys, I'm going to end it here. It's been 35 wonderful minutes of me explaining this. I've been planning to talk to you guys about it for such a long time, and I finally did it. It's still a full moon, so you have time. There are lots of other ways people do road opening spells or rituals. Some people use eggs, which I think is something, is a creative, actually a creative way to cleanse yourself of stagnant blockages. Okay, you can, a lot of times I've heard about the cleansing with the egg, but as a form of a road opener, you cleanse your egg, one egg. People prefer to use a brown egg, which is a more natural or organic chicken's egg, but you can use any egg that you get. Cleanse it with Florida water first, and the point is to rub this egg now all down your body, all down yourself. You don't want to like do this and all of that, like, you want to just take it from up down, like you're doing a dry brushing kind of effect. And you're telling this egg, the purpose of this egg is to remove any negative energy. The purpose of the egg is to clear any blockages and any ailments and ills from your body, to remove it fully, okay? And after you've done that, you toss that egg down the toilet and flush it, okay? Never to return again. And you want to repeat this. Some people say 3 days is optimum, but some say 9 days is the precise amount of time that you need to continue to repeat this process for a total body cleanse and a road opening effect with eggs, okay? So now I think it's time for me to end this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in with me on this, because like I said, the magic is here. The magic is really in our mind, and I'm into psychology, but I'm also into metaphysics, and so I get down with both. All right, so if you like this video, hit like, subscribe to my channel, because we talk about a lot of things here. We talk about metaphysics, we talk about love and relationships, we talk about all of the things that affect us on a day-to-day basis. As above, so below. All right, so until I get back, peace and love, blessed be, and namaste. Hotep, guys.